What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be finishing up the control arms. The last time you saw me, I had installed the control arms and everything like that. I never tightened up the bolts on them. So off camera, I tried to tighten up the rear bolt back here, and it ended up snapping on me. You'll see the nut or the head of the bolt there, and then on the other side it snapped right off. So what I'm gonna do today is replace both the front and the rear on both sides, because I bought the same bolts for both sides. The driver's side didn't snap, but I'm thinking if I'm gonna replace the other side with a higher grade bolt, I should probably just redo this side. So I've got some higher grade bolts. The rear one is an M12 by 1.75, and then the front ones are M14 by 1.25. I'm gonna set you guys up so I can get a better angle, because in the last video I had you guys on a chest mount and it didn't show up too well. So I'm gonna try and get a good angle for you guys to actually see what I'm doing. All right, so now I got you guys in an angle that hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna be jacking up this the back bolt first, just because because the spring is in the perch now, I don't want this to just fly out as soon as I take that bolt out. So I'm gonna jack this up quick. Now I put a lock washer, nut on the back. Now I'm gonna have to look up the torque spec again, but first I'm gonna just tighten it down as far as I find fit. I tried to tighten it to the torque spec last time, and that's what caused it to snap. So I'm going to see what I get to before I try and torque it to like 135 or something. I think first I'm going to try 70 foot-pounds, just because that seems kind of reasonable. Was 70. Before I tighten it anymore, I'm going to move the jack under here and have the weight resting on it, because you're supposed to torque these guys with the full weight of the truck on it, so you don't pinch the bushing and cause it to twist or break. So I'm gonna do that quick. And again, I'm only lifting it up just so that it's above the jack, so that I know that all the weight's on it. Let me go look for the torque spec. Well, I can only find torque spec for like a 4x4, which I don't think would be the same. So I'm just gonna torque this thing to say 85. foot-pounds, see how that feels, and then go from there. I think that's gonna be all I'm gonna torque my guy to. I don't think it's coming loose. So now I'm gonna set you guys up to hopefully be able to see the front bolt now. Well, apparently my GoPro didn't actually record any of me getting the front bolt on, but it is on. Hopefully you can see that. So I did find out that the bolt that I ordered was a M14 by 2 instead of an M14 by 1.25, so I had to run and get a new nut and lock washer. But anyways, that is now installed. I made sure that the full weight of the frame was on the control arms so that there wasn't any tension in the bushings. So now I'm going to tighten up the upper bolts, or upper nuts I guess is what you would call them. So I'm going to set you guys up and I'll just tighten those guys on. So apparently it's 155 foot-pounds. Again, that was for like a 4x4. So I'm gonna probably torque mine to like 100 first, see how that goes. Once I get that done, then I will torque them a little higher. So that is 80. This is gonna be 100 here. That's 100. I think I'm gonna stick to 100 for now, until I can find out a better torque spec. I'm just worried that I'm gonna snap one of these. That would really, really suck. Upper control arm is tightened to my best abilities. And now I'm gonna start putting the caliper back on and put the wheel back on, and then I'll have to tear apart the other side to redo those bottom bolts, to replace them, and then we should be all set. So I'm gonna start doing that. All right, I'm gonna wipe down the rotor. Of course, it's still going to be rusty, but whatever. I think the pads can deal with a little bit of rust. It's not too bad. Just make sure that you don't have any oils on here, because I've been working with some silicone grease and my fingers and everything have touched these rotors. I want to wipe off as much oil as I possibly can. So I'm gonna snake, or try to snake, this caliper through. I might just take that brake hose off, just because I recently did anyway, so it's not like I won't have to bleed the brakes anyways. So here's my pads. First, I'm gonna take these slides out. Alright, so now I'm going to be taking the wheel off this side, and I'm going to be replacing the lower control arm bolts just because I don't feel safe with those other ones that I had on there, because they were the same as the ones over there, and that one snapped. So I just need to get the wheel off this guy, and then I will set you guys up so that you can hopefully see what I'll be working on. Alright, so I've got the front bolt in. It was kind of a pain, mostly because the tie rod is in the way and I put it in the wrong way the first time. But it is now in, sorry, and torqued to 130 foot-pounds, so I was actually able to torque this side. Off camera, I'm probably gonna see if I can torque that side, but right now it's good enough for me. I'm gonna do the rear one. It's the same process as the other side, so I might video it, I might not, but I'm gonna get that done, and then after that get you guys back for the replacement of the brake hose on this side, because I haven't done that yet. Now we're all done with the control arms. Hooray! Now I'm gonna move on to doing the brake hose, because this one's old and crusty, and the tab is actually not even like supported, so it's just wobbling. So I'm gonna set you guys up to start doing that. So we're back to the brake hose on the driver's side. It's a pretty simple thing to do. The only problem is typically this guy is so rusted that you can't get it undone. I've heated this guy up in preparation for this. Ooh, it's still hot. So I'm gonna try and break this guy loose. Sweet, that's what you want. I'm gonna take the nut off of the caliper. It is a 5/8 as well. So I'm gonna loosen that guy off. Don't lose the copper washers that are on this banjo bolt, because you will have a brake leak. You'll never figure out why it is still leaking every time you tighten it up. So I've got that off. Be mindful that it will leak brake fluid, obviously. See, there's one copper washer. There's one on the back side here as well, it seems. Keep your banjo bolt. Remember the orientation of that. So, and then I'm just gonna twist this brake hose, not the nut, because the nut is probably so rusted that it will break. So there's that. Now, I'm gonna compare it to the other brake hose, just making sure the bends are all the same, they look the same. So I'm gonna put this guy back on. Okay. Okay, that's on there nice and tight. And there is a hex that matches up on this guy. And this is out of position anyways. So I'm gonna grab a pair of pliers and bend it. All right, so that's gonna do it for the video. I've got the entire front suspension, all the front suspension components together now. It still will need to be aligned and everything, which I understand. Got the new brake hoses on, everything like that. All I'm gonna do now is clean up this rotor, clean up all the mess around here, put the wheel back on, and then put it onto the ground. I might start grinding down the frame just because, I don't know, I don't have a whole lot to do today. So I might start doing that, and there might be a video for that. However, I think that's going to do it for me today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please like the video and consider subscribing. See ya.